how to manage to move on from a relationship with no third party involved. So it is specifically because the two of you did not work out and there was no other external person. I don't want to say factor, no external factor, but no external person that got in between you guys.
You know, it's interesting because I literally have just been really watching a lot of the Adele interviews since she launched her album. And she would often talk about her ex fondly. Like she said, it just didn't work out, but it wasn't a nasty divorce or anything. And that's why Easy on Me was the first track that she released because she wanted to dispute any rumors that would say na, they had a nasty breakup, divorce, ganyan, that the ex-husband took all of her money when in reality it just didn't work out. And she said something like, when there's a kid in between you, you can't really be nasty to each other because you have to make the relationship work. And she said something to Oprah that really resonated with me. She said, I still trust him with my life right now. Like she said that her ex-husband and her son gave her a sense of stability that she couldn't find anywhere else or with anybody else. And even if they're broken up right now, she would still trust her ex-husband with her life. So, alam mo yon, it sounded like a really healthy, if there even is such a thing, divorce. And it seems that's, for me feeling ko harder yan parts.
How do you know it was the series ender and not the season ender?
Ganda.
So I think that personally for me, I think it would be kind of weird if my new partner is so amicable in the way that she ended it with her ex, I guess. Huh? Yeah. But at the same time, I've always looked at it as, that's just the way that it is because I've never had that situation.
Here's the thing. Usually, there is an ill feeling that you get from a breakup. And that ill feeling usually is the best fuel for you to forget someone. Because it's hard to forget someone when you still love them and when you have nothing but good things to say about them. But when you have, resentment towards them or yun nga, may third party, mas madali kasing mag-move on kasi you can tell yourself, good riddance. And everybody else will resonate that same statement to you. So how do you move on parts from a healthy relationship?
When I hear kasi that the relationship ended with no third party involved, it means that it's mainly because of circumstance. There are things that got into the way that set you both on courses in your life that are no longer parallel or they do not intersect anymore. And usually when it's something like this, it's extremely large factors in life. If there's no third party, you guys are not gonna break up because you guys are gonna be like, siya kasi mahilig siya sa may pineapple sa pizza niya. Ako hindi ko kaya yun. So no third party involved. We will end this now. Those are the things that you can move past.
Mhm.
But when it comes to if you guys broke up and no third party was involved, that means that this could be either something because of a difference of religion, difference of political mindset and political views, and these or distance, age is
Mhm.
also something.
Families.
These are things that are, I guess, harder and easier depending on how you want to look at it. Because if, for instance, LDR kayo, then obviously, and you don't want to do LDR, then obviously you guys are gonna have to break up. And there's no third party involved. That means that maybe it's just not time for you guys yet at the moment.
If you're really looking for a way to move on, I think the first thing that you have to figure out really is to set boundaries. because that would be the easiest thing that could derail your moving on process. Yung dahil wala namang third party, wala namang kayong galit sa isa't isa, yung nabablur nga yung boundaries na hindi, let's still talk, let's still hang out, let's still grab a drink sometime. Kasi nga, 'di ba parts? Pag hindi naman pangit yung breakup, may usual na ganun na sige, let's keep in touch kasi and that blurs the line, which makes it even harder for you to really move on from the relationship. So that would be my first thing from experience. Try to set the boundaries, because the last thing that you want is to get caught up in between moving on and still staying in the relationship just because it wasn't a bad breakup.
The other thing that actually came to my mind, and not all breakups that happen with no third party are because of circumstances. I know for a fact that there are relationships that have come to an end because mainly one of the people in the relationship or both of them simply fell out of love. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
No matter how sad it may sound, that you can wake up one day, look at your partner and be like, I just don't feel the same way anymore that I did yesterday.
Is that a valid reason to break up though, parts?
That's a great question. Is it for you? Because for me, it depends on how long you guys have been together.
Kung may investment. If you share an air fryer together, stick it out, bro.
Sobra-sobra na yun, ha? Kailangan until the end, until death do you part. Pag may air fryer na kayo, till death do you part. Yung anak, bata, kahit hindi na muna, okay lang. Air fryer,
that's a huge commitment. That's a hard thing to move on from.
Do you think that it's enough reason if you guys are boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yeah, I think it's a very complex question, because falling out of love can have a lot of reasons, and when you're boyfriend girlfriend, that's really the time for you to figure out why you're falling out of love. Is it because there are certain non-negotiables that your partner isn't meeting? Is it because there's like deeper rooted issues that you guys aren't really fixing and figuring out? And nafo-fall out of love ka lang kasi hindi nyo talaga na-address yung mga deeper rooted problems nyo. And I think if that's the reason, then it's okay. But yung falling out of love in the sense na wala na yung kilig, hindi na siya as exciting or adventurous, I don't think that's a reason enough to break up, because that happens in every relationship, not just in boyfriend-girlfriend, but even in friendships. Like, there would be times when you just don't feel like hanging out with your friends. You just don't feel like talking to them. You just don't feel like sharing a part of your life with them. But that doesn't mean that you stop being friends with them or loving them. It just means that you're in that season of, I'm not really willing to share this part of myself to you, and I think that's something that you can stick out. But yung falling out of love dahil hindi nyo talaga ma-meet in the middle yung mga certain non-negotiables nyo and issues, I think that's a reason enough.
Yeah, I mean, when it's irreconcilable differences, then sige, fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it's because if you are listening to this right now and you're like, yeah, me and my boyfriend medyo nawala na yung kilig, wala na yung twinkle ng mata niya pag tinitignan niya ako.
Puro muta na siya.
Then I think that might not be like enough reason for it. And if you're tuning in like halfway through and you're wondering what's going on, we're just trying to figure out all the different reasons why a relationship would end with no third party involved. And that's how we're going to be able to manage it. Like, how we need to figure out all the different causes first before we figure out how to manage it.